As you can see, people are running out of petrol. It's been all over the news, and as it would seem, people are queuing up now, and they're not actually running out of petrol at all. They're just queuing up because they think they're running out of petrol because the government's told them they're running out of bloody petrol. Nothing unusual there then, I suppose, is there? It's like when we ran out of toilet roll and we ran out of pasta and all that kind of crap, when the first lockdown kicked in. Anyway, we are off back to Plymouth to pick up the big multistrada. This is not going to be much of a video, I have to say, as riding the Ducati 797, but it's the best I'm going to be able to do because the microphone has completely gone kaput on my Acaso V50 Pro SE, so I had to order another one, so I can't actually, I'm hoping the audio comes out on this. If it doesn't, I shall try to do an overlay of audio or something another time on this little bit here, but you'll get the general idea. We're off to GT to pick up the multistrada, and then I shall talk you through all the fucking nightmare that's been. Excuse my language, but it has been a bloody nightmare. It's gone from £230 to £497. I'll tell you all about that a little bit later on throughout this video, but we are still on this lovely Ducati 797 Monster, which they kindly loaned me, and we're going to go and pick up my lovely multistrada, so you'll get a bit of footage. We'll catch up again, or rather I'll start talking again when we get to the Tamar bridge and cross over into Devon. Alright guys, enjoy the ride! We're about to leave Cornwall and head over the Tamar bridge into Devon to pick up the multistrada. Again on this Ducati 797 Monster. I love the way everybody gets out of the way when you're on a bike, and they're all probably wishing, God, I wish I was on a bloody bike. Again, apologies for the sound. This is the best I can do because I've got no microphone, as in no external microphone, set up on this Acaso now because the microphone actually broke, so I'm waiting for another one to arrive. But I wanted to give you some idea of what this was all about. Sorry, I'll have to bleep that bit out, won't I? I'll have to be a cheeky little sod and try and skip in over here, because otherwise we're never going to get across into Devon. This is the tunnel effectively that leads you out of Cornwall and into Devon, into Plymouth as it were. We're in kind of Saltash area, and if you've ever been across the Alps through Switzerland into Italy, that kind of stuff, then this is the same sort of thing. It's like a mini Gotthard tunnel. It's a little bit of fun. On my multistrada, the dash actually turns black as we go through here, because obviously it's got a night and day dash. But this obviously not quite up to that spec. Anyway, we'll catch up again in a couple of seconds when we're actually on the bridge. Still quite impressed with the brakes on this bike actually, guys. I think I've mentioned it before, that the brakes on here are far better than the brakes on my multistrada, which really surprised me, considering this is a 797 and my multistrada is almost twice that size. We're going to try and see, because we're going to fucking overheat here, so I'm going to try and see if we can be cheeky and go up on the outside here, because this is getting a little bit silly. Anyway, as I was saying, the brakes are sublime on this bike compared to my multistrada. They've both got Brembos, it's just that this one seems to be far better at stopping than my multistrada. It's a lot lighter, I guess, though, you know. I don't know what the difference is between the Brembos on this and the Brembos on the multistrada. But all I know is they work bloody well on here and not quite so well on my multistrada. Just thought I'd mention it. We're about to hit the bridge now. I did mention it when I did the original video that we don't have to pay to get across here. I think it's £2. It's about to go to £2.50 for cars to go across here, but motorcycles go through for free, which is a bonus. One good thing about having a motorcycle in Cornwall. Nah, there are many good things, but that's just a bonus. And there it is, the Tamar bridge and the Tamar itself, as it were. Lovely part of the country down there, I think you'll agree. A little bit industrial, but just a really nice place. And as we get across, I suppose halfway across this bridge, we will enter Devon from Cornwall. Totally different ball game, isn't it? Devon pasties, Cornish pasties, yeah, the fight goes on. I like Devon though, got to say, I've got a lot of time for Devon and Cornwall. The southwest, I mean, I've lived in the southwest of England most of my life, and it's a great place to own a bike and a great place to live, generally speaking. Just such a pretty place. I mean, as I said, this bridge is a bit industrial, but it's a bridge, what do you want? Going back to the bike though, yeah, still super impressed with this bike. Not something I would have considered. If it had an extra 20 horsepower, I think I would seriously consider getting one of these. If it was up around about 100 horsepower, I would seriously consider getting one, because it's just so much fun to drive, or ride as it were. But it's just a little bit down on power for me. great commuter, great town bike, great for blipping about, but just I like a little bit more power. You know, if you're in the city, of course, it makes no difference because you don't need all that power. You're just stuck in traffic like this, aren't you? So it's no biggie. But for me, on B roads and stuff like that, I want a bit more power, really. But I've got a lot of time for this bike. I would highly recommend it if you are a commuter, or you're maybe going up from your first bike to your second bike. A lot of time for this. So characterful. This one's burning a lot of oil by the smell of it, which I'll have a chat to the guys about that. But yeah, great bike. Change the mirrors. One thing, as I think I've mentioned already, change these bloody mirrors. They are terrible. Right, let's see if we can just get the hell out of Dodge, as it were. We don't have a tag, so we'll have to go straight through here. He should just let us through, and then we'll catch up as we're getting close to GT motorcycles again. He should just let us straight through here, I imagine. Off your trot, Mr. BMer. Thank you. Yep, there we go, straight through. Right, we'll catch up in a minute. So we are almost there, guys. We're almost back at GT Motorcycles. Again, you probably won't have seen very much of the first video because, as I've explained, the microphone just gave up basically. I'm going to try and chop and stitch shitloads of bits of that, if I can, into this one video to make it a little bit interesting for you. But as I said, we've had no microphone, so it's been really, really difficult. I literally went out on this bike 7, 8, maybe even 9 times to do a video for you guys on this 797, which didn't work out. So what I've had to do is on the way back to give it back to GT, I'm having to shout my head off in my crash helmet using the internal mic of the camera in a case, which isn't ideal. So you know, it'll either be stitched in somewhere or it won't. It's as simple as that. But we are almost back at GT again. And the drama that he is expecting to pay £270 for a belt change, which they supply the belt. That changed to £360 because apparently the cost of belts went up. And then that changed again because I bought my own belt to £230. And then finally it changed again. Well, actually no, it changed to £325 because they were going to check the clearances, the valve clearances on the Multistrada. And then today, finally, because it needed 6 new shims, they are going to take the princely sum of £495 off me. Yeah, from 270 to 230, plus I supply the belt from 325 to fucking 500. I mean, what the hell is that about? There they are, the robbing bastards. Anyway, this is probably the last bit of the, well, it is going to be the last bit of the 797 video series, because I'm not going to have the bike anymore. And I hope you've enjoyed it. And yes, would I recommend this bike? Highly, 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 highly recommend this bike for certain things. For me, I need an extra 20 horsepower. But if you're just, you know, one of these people who needs a quick commuter and you want a little bit of individuality, then yeah, get yourself one of these. So much fun I've had on this. A lot more fun than on the Multistrada, if I'm honest. Just day-to-day fun. But I still prefer my multi in a lot of ways, of course, don't I? Anyway, as I said, I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm assuming that's my multi sat right up there, and this, of course, is GT Motorcycles, who I'm about to give a buttload of money to, which I wasn't actually expecting to have to do, but, you know, it is what it is. And there's that really hard to find side stand. I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. If you have, as I've said before, please consider subscribing to see more videos like this. I mean, I might come back here and do another video on a test ride and that kind of stuff, but this is GT Motorcycles in Plymouth. They've got a lovely little cafe up there as well, look, and this is all the stuff that they've got going on in here. There's their workshop down there where they rip you off blindly. I mean, I found out it's £95 an hour labour here, which I thought it was 65. Yeah, I'm sure that's what the girl on the phone told me, that it was 65. Anyway, apparently it's 95, so I don't think I can afford to come here again. But when you own a Ducati, that is the joy of owning a Ducati. You have to look after it. And talking of which, there's mine, all done and dusted. We're going to talk a little bit more once we're back on the Ducati, as in the Multistrada. On the ride home, I may just chime in and we'll have a little chat on the way back. Alright, that's it for now. Let's go and give these buggers all my money. Alrighty.